1, and as promised, in studio right now, color me happy this Friday the 13th. I have got the Latin King of Comedy, Mr. Paul Rodriquez, in studio.
Well, thank you very much. I didn't give myself that title, but I won't fight it. You know, I appreciate that.
It's a pretty, being king must have some perks.
The only thing king I got is king bed.
King bed, yes.
King bed, my dog king. You know, but no, there's no royalty in my family. Well, I guess Mama was my queen, but it's always a privilege, a pleasure to be out here in this part of Texas. You know, I'm not a Texan, but I feel like I've been one because I was in the Air Force. I lived here in San Antonio for a while, and I got stationed up in Shepherd Air Force Base when I was a younger man, and I've always had good feelings about Texas. It's like I'm one of them wannabe Texans, but they live in California.
You fit right in here.
Even with this hat?
Even with that hat. That hat is fantabulous, by the way. I love it. Matter of fact, I may have to borrow that.
Well, now this hat right here was woven by my mom, I guess. No, it was a hat that I got from the Bing Crosby estate.
Oh my goodness! Yeah. Is that Bing Crosby's hat?
No, he's been dead for a long time. But I got it at if you go down to the horse races over there in Del Mar in California, that was the Bing Crosby place. They have a lot of his clothing and hats. They got hats like this one, but no, if he'd worn this one, I'd be arrested. I think they have those behind glass.
Yeah, I guess that's true. They are.
Yeah.
Fun. Well, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about your independent film that's going to be coming out, and I'm real excited about it. I'm real involved in independent film. It's called Fixing Paco. You kind of told me a little bit about it, but share the story with them.
Fixing Paco is a story about a man who needs a kidney transplant. He's sick. He's got 3 kids, and none of them match his right type of blood and all that. But the kid that he had out of wedlock, the one that he abandoned, that's the match. So he
complicated.
So he has to patch up things with him, and then he realizes that he really doesn't deserve this kidney from this kid.
Aww.
It's a tearjerker, but sometimes it's a good release, because as I was shooting this film, I realized that so many people suffer from diabetes, especially I think Hispanic Mexican Americans are the highest rate of diabetics, because we eat a lot of pan dulce or a lot of the sweets that we like. But it was a learning experience. I learned a lot about the blessings of being healthy. I mean, we take it for granted, but people who have to sit for hours and hours for dialysis,
right.
Or people who are on these long waiting lists for organ transplants. What I did is that after I finished this film, I got my license, and then I made it a donor. A lot of people, it's hard for us to picture ourselves not being here, but I would recommend that you should leave your organs.
I'm already signed up.
Yeah, signed up. I know it's a macabre kind of thing to talk about, but God knows the day and the time we're going to go, and why not extend the life? I say, because I had never thought of it before. I always got my license, and whenever they ask you that on the back of the California license plate, at least I would always just ignore it,
Right.
But it only takes a second, and you can give somebody many
You're
years
not going to need them when you go anyway.
Well, let's hope not. I want to go to heaven. I want to have my own heavenly kidneys. But no, it's a good thing to do, because the life you're saving could be one of your relatives. It could
That's
be,
exactly right.
There's so many people on the waiting list who've been there for years. Many of them pass away and there's so many people passing away with perfectly good organs, and they don't think of that, because none of us think of our demise. It's not something that's healthy to think about all the time. But on the other hand, it only takes a second, and then you can do a lot of good.
Now then, you are very active with juvenile diabetes,
Yes.
but you also just got back from entertaining the troops in Afghanistan.
I did, and I'll tell you about it. It really changes your perspective on things. I personally, I'm not a political guy, but I think the sooner we're out of there, the better. I don't think that whole area is worth one American life. It's sad. It's heartbreaking. I've been there 6 times, and every time I just get emotional, because you go to these MASH units where these young men, I guess the survivors it's even sad, because, the armor they wear it just takes their limbs, so ultimately all you have is just it's sad. Some of these survivors, they don't even want to survive it. I don't know. It's such a difficult, uncomedic thing to talk about.
Well, that is so wonderful that you go out there and do it. Now, let's just kind of switch the path here, and let's talk about tonight and tomorrow night. It is Friday the 13th. You're going to be at the MCM.
Whoa, I didn't even know that.
Yes, it is. I have some salt on
I'm
the
scared
table
now.
here. You can throw it back behind your shoulder. But what can they expect tonight at the show?
Well, you know, I kind of just talk whatever's on my mind. I ad-lib. I have some ideas, but I never really know exactly what I'm going to say. I just hope, and so far it's been...
It's worked for you.
It's worked for me, you know, to go out there to ad-lib. You never know, you know, I mean, things can change, but I basically go over there and talk about minutia, mundane things. I ask the big questions with little answers, you know. You know, why are curly hairs on the soap? And you know, just nonsense kind of things, you know. But people say, well, tell me a joke, and other than Obama, I don't really know one. So I just have to just move on. Can I lose some listeners now?
Oh, you know what? I don't think in this area. There may be two, but they hide.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I was more of a Hillary kind of man. So I think women are in charge anyway, so why should we have one as president? But
that's right. I could turn your microphone off right now. You know
that.
I know that.
My house is totally estrogen. You know.
But you have two boys, but now you have a granddaughter.
I do have a granddaughter. I just saw her on TV with my son. He won the X Games. I'm very proud of him. And my other boy, he's 13. He's growing up totally Cuban, which is nothing I can do about. But yeah, it's amazing how time goes by, you know. And you know, if you live on through your children. And I'm not to get all schmaltzy, but I've been so fortunate. I got really, really good kids. My kids are so good. I think I'm going to make some more.
You should. That's like that saying, you know, I've made so many mistakes and learned from them, I should make some more. You know, it gets smarter and smarter every day.
That's true. That's what I like about country music. It has a lot of the lyrics are life, you know. They're not like it says something. It's a storytelling kind of thing that I enjoy that you don't get in other genres of
Not
songs.
so much. Yeah, some of the music is a little you shouldn't be listening to it kind of
Yeah,
music.
you know, I don't know. My kids are into hip hop, and it just makes me angry. I go, why are you listening to that? You know, and he goes, oh, Dad, you don't know what's going on. I said, I don't want to know what's going on. I'll lock you up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I actually did some shows with McCoy. I've traveled with him, and he went over there. And also, who else went there? Jamie Freaky, I think it was. And Reba. So I've been...
Oh, Reba, she's good with the troops.
Yeah, the troops go crazy about that. Well, you don't want to follow her. You do want to follow her, but not metaphorically speaking. She's a good lady. It was a pleasure knowing her.
Well, folks are wanting to know a little bit more about your new movie coming out, about all your different DVDs, your movies, your one-man tour, everything. Well, maybe not those. We try to keep that on the down low.
And I know. But, yeah, you know, I've been fortunate in all the years that I've been at it. I've had an opportunity to work with some of the greats. You know, I did The World's Fastest Indian, a movie with Anthony Hopkins. I recommend it. It's a real good movie. It kind of got lost in the shuffle. I did Blood Work with Clint Eastwood. That was a blast.
Oh, wow.
It was a pleasure. Probably the nicest director, nicest person I've ever worked with, and generous too. I just walked up to him and go, "Give me $1." And
he said,
"Look, kid,
pulls a gun.
You're crazy." Such a nice man, he really is. And then, of course, I've had an opportunity to I did Ali, and we were in Africa for 6 months. It's a movie that didn't really get too much attention. I played the part of Dr. Ferdy Pacheco. And, you know, the years have come and gone, and just about every year I've been fortunate enough to get a project or two, because Hollywood is not really crazy about any 50-year-old guys, you know. It's all about youth. It's all about the new kid. But I've hung in there. So, you know, I've always said that the day they don't want me, I'm ready to go. But so far, you know,
everybody still wants you.
Jobs keep coming, and I keep taking them, you know. It's hard to say no.
With age comes great wisdom and great comedy, obviously.
Well, I don't know about great, but I keep trying to. I guess, you know, only the truth is funny. And that's what I've found. And you can talk about things. Try to make you don't even have to exaggerate too much. If you talk about just what you feel or what you've seen, people will relate to that. And at my age, I feel so. You know, the things are changing so fast that, you know, for example, I'm the Verizon guy. I'm doing commercials for them.
Right.
So they took me to a class where I had to sit down and learn all the Verizon.
Yeah.
How, you know, and texting for me was
He's not very technical, I found out. There's no Facebook page yet, but he's fixing to make one.
Yeah, I am. I don't know what that was. And my son says, I'm going to go to the other room and I'll teach you how to text, Pop. So I'll go here, let me ask you a question. And he says, how are you? I said, well, you were just here. You know, so I'm trying to text, I'm trying to answer, I'm okay. And he texts me, what's holding you so long? How come you? He asked me like 13 questions before I could get one off. And I go, well, do you want to text? You want to talk?
I see you texting like this. One, tap,
my fingers.
tap, yeah.
I told her that.
Big fingers, little phone.
I told the technicians, I said, well, how is it that you know, we got fat fingers, the phones are getting smaller,
right.
And our fingers stay just the same. Like, you know, I don't know how they do that, you know, to try to get it all going. But you got to keep up with the kids, you know. I guess old folks is always complaining.
It'll keep you young. You
it
keep
will.
Up with those kids, it'll keep you young.
Either that or I'm going to have to find someone young to keep me home.
Well, I want to thank you so much. I know you've got a busy, busy day today.
Thank you for your airtime and saying hello to all the folks here in Texas.
Absolutely will. And I want to encourage everybody to go out this evening and tomorrow night for the MCM Elegante.
Don't tell me you ain't got no money, because this place is booming.
Oh my
Everybody's
gosh.
hiring.
Holy smoly. Yes, it is. Money's good now, so come out and spend it this evening and have a great night.
Either way, God bless you and all your listeners. You know, it's a pleasure to be here on this country station, because I am a closet country listener.
Yay! So am I. Shh, don't tell anybody. You have a great day.
You too. Thank you.